So how'd the move go?
It's going like it was actually pretty smooth day of and everything. I'm probably I'd say 85% unpacked.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, like I've got stuff to put on the walls and like finish kind of like setting out some like memorabilia and stuff and get all the broken down boxes out of here. So the background being blurred is great. And I'm gonna get a few more pieces of like furniture for storage. But like yeah, it's nice to have a whole office to work and do this and all that good stuff. And then hopefully set up a home gym and I'm still
Yeah.
holding out that hope.
Still taking measurements. How can you
Oh,
fit a
yeah,
half?
it's got space. It's got space. Like it's a matter of like how much do I hate my downstairs neighbor?
Yeah. How much you hate your downstairs neighbor, or you could go the other direction. I know we Matt and I have talked about this before for those of you listening, but what we would have as our ideal home gym setup and kind of what if I could do it differently, what I would do differently. So Matt, if you were putting together your home gym in your apartment, right? So what is your like footprint for
Yeah,
that?
so like what I'm looking at right now is Major Fitness has a rack that is a combination rack and functional trainer. So like that's what I want. I want stuff to be able to do cable stuff and stick a barbell in here. So with that, like you need like kind of 10 feet clearance on the overall, and then I could have room to have the bench and everything, and then some adjustable dumbbells and probably like an easy curl bar, and I'm pretty set with that. So, yeah, in an ideal world, I have a whole like basement set up and and have thousands upon thousands of dollars to have a full thing. But for the space I have, like minimally, I think that would be perfect.
Are you talking about the rack that has its plate loaded pulleys on
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That way, it's yeah. I'm not don't have like 400 pounds of like plates of weight stacked, weighing down on the floor.
Right. So are you talking about this one right here?
So they've got a newer one that's a little bit more expensive. That's got a few more bells and whistles, but the main draw for the newer one for me is it's slightly shorter.
Isn't that
So
one
that
folds up?
because
Because you're talking about a power rack, right?
yeah. So the not the folding one. Let's see which one have I got. So it's the Raptors, the one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice.
Because like it's just under 7 feet tall. Because like I've got to measure and make sure the ceiling. I think these are pretty sure these are exactly 7 foot tall ceilings.
No
So like
way. There's no way you have a 7 foot tall ceiling. That's at
yeah,
least got to be like 8 feet tall. There's no way.
I do not feel that that's a.
Hmm.
Keep in mind that this apartment was built in the '60s.
Okay, maybe it is seven. but,
It's
yeah,
definitely shorter than my last place. I had like really high. Well, maybe it isn't. Like, so all right, I'll measure and let you know.
yeah, because like the limitations, that's definitely the thing. This
Like
is
I won't I
similar,
won't I won't be using the pull up bar. Like
right? I had to buy. I have a RML 390 road rack. This is not the topic that we were going to talk about today, but we might as well talk about it because now they're on the topic. But RML. So keep in mind, I bought all of my stuff in 2020 before all the prices went up.
yeah, see, I started looking at stuff in 2020 in like late March, and couldn't find anything.
So this is the rack that I have. the RML 3 Rogue Monster Light. Um, I got this one because, as you can see here, it doesn't have flat feet on it, which is something you want to look out for if you're um, putting your gym on something that you can't mount it into. You want to have flat feet here instead of the posts because this will shift on you.
Yep.
My platform is bolted into, or my rack is bolted into a platform that I built for it. So it does not move. So, but which is why the version of this that has the flat feet on it is like $100 more in price. So I wanted a platform. I have an 8x8 platform that it sits on, 8 feet by 8 feet, and that I feel like is plentiful space for me to be able to do stuff in. The downside to it is that standard barbell is 7 feet wide. So when you're going outside of it to put plates on and stuff, you're kind of like stepping off the platform.
Yeah, that's rough. I feel like this is where we should say, like, since we just kind of impromptu said this, that like, hey, Major Fitness seems awesome. Rogue Fitness seems awesome. Like, if anybody's listening from there wants to give us a discount or send us equipment or even sponsor the podcast, go ahead and reach out.
I will happily be an affiliate for either of those two companies that we've talked
No
about so far.
kidding.
And what I can say about both things, like I know some people that actually do have the rack that we first showed that was from Major Ludi Fitness, not the one that Matt's thinking about purchasing. I know somebody that has that and they love it. They think it's awesome. And they have similar things that you're saying about it. Like the reason why they got it was because they wanted the plates. And that I feel like that's a thing that it goes often unsaid, but is a part of like the gym culture that is like people are missing out on with rubber plates is the clang of the plate on plate.
Right. Like
It has like a certain sound.
That just like that sound and that smell almost, like just that gritty, just like you just think about like you and I always talk about our love of Arnold. Like you think about like just pounding out weights in like a dungeony gym in the 70s. Like it's just like you want that ding 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 and just that smell of just iron.
Yeah. One of my favorite pieces of work on fitness is Iron in the Soul by Henry Rollins. If you're listening to this podcast, I'll post the link to it in the show notes, and you've never read Iron in the Soul, it has a way of convincing you that you should be pushing yourself to the limits as much as you can with weight as quickly as you possibly can. As in, you need to go to the gym right now and start lifting some weight.
Always love like anything that's very inspirational like that because I think we talked about before, like the movie Pumping Iron, going back to Arnold again. Like that's like I can watch 5 minutes of that movie. Like, yep, I didn't feel like working out today, but let's do it. So yeah, like anything that just kind of gets you going like that, and easier to get you going if you've got a home gym right there and not having to get up in the car and get the heck out.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before on our podcast of motivation versus discipline. One of the issues that a lot of people come across is the discipline in there, and it's not so much the motivation. Motivation is fleeting, comes and goes oftentimes. The discipline is the hard part, the part that to keep showing up to see the result in the end. Sorry.
Yeah, I know you always kind of say something very similar. I always say the same thing to people, like, it's habits and repetition over that motivation, even over the goal. Like set that goal. Awesome. Like obviously we have to be very goal oriented. We've talked about that ad nauseum in the past on the podcast. Go back and listen to those. But to reach those goals, to get that level of motivation, it's about the habits. It's about that repetition of like, I just, to me, it's like I get up, I brush my teeth, I have to work, I have to eat, I have other things to do. I have to go to the gym. Period. End of story. Like it's not a question because I've been in relationships before and friendships before and everything. Like, well, do you really have to go to the gym today? Like, can't you go do that? Like, no, I have to. It's the same as if somebody's like, well, can't you just like call out of work today? Well, I could, but I'm not going to because it's a commitment that I've made that I'm going to do. And the gym for me is that same way.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of penciling it into a schedule of
Absolutely.
actual physical. I've attempted to do the electronic schedule and use a reminder, not use paper, but there is actual evidence that
Oh,
supports
I love this thing right here.
there is evidence that supports using a physical scheduler is more likely to make you um, be attentive to it. And I feel like that goes back to what kind of the learner style, like visual versus auditory versus tactile, where you're getting both the at least the visual of you writing it down and the physical tactile piece of you writing it down. That you're hitting two of the three learning style modalities. So unless you are purely only an audio learner, which is highly unlikely that you had learned from nothing else, so that you will at least stick to it if you do that part where you can see it and you write it down at the same time. When it comes to back to the home gym topic, along with that, for people that are listening to podcasts and you don't have a gym membership and you have to work out at home or get your exercise in, you do not need these big pieces of equipment to
No,
get your
God,
stuff in.
God, no. Like that's yeah, I think that's very important because the home gym I want and desire and hopefully knock on wood get like yeah, you're forking out thousands of dollars, but to be able to get an efficient workout and workout to reach your fitness and wellness goals, you do not have to have that. And I think that's a big part of the programming we do at Franchise Nutrition and Fitness is that hey, like I literally just got off a call with one of my clients that she only has just a finite amount of equipment at home, has a solid programs which reaching her goals right now. Like we're not, it's not like oh well you need to go out and get this $1,000 rack and be able to do this. No, like with what she's got, we're working and we're killing it, and yeah, we can actually develop a program that's going to fit your needs based off the equipment you have.
Yeah, we can talk about progressive overload on another time, but there's plentiful ways to create the progressive overload that you need in order to continue to move towards your goals, whether that is with a strength building activity or a cardiovascular activity. There's a lot of different ways that you can mitigate your growth to make sure that you're continuing growing towards your goals. And I say grow, and people often think that I'm only implying the muscle, but grow is also fat loss. Grow is also your mental acuity, your ability to have confidence in the way that you look and the confidence in the way that you feel when you're going out and talking to people because of all of the growth that you've made with your nutrition and fitness. And I feel like um, the home gym is definitely something that is helpful, and the discipline of writing down on a schedule. But we could talk about all day long. You need the support and accountability if you want to get to where you're going. Like Matt and I are able to text each other back and forth when we're achieving things in the gym and things like that because we can support and be the accountability person for each other. But it's not always just having somebody that's one on one. It's knowledgeable for it, yes, but you also need like people around you. So living in isolation, probably not a good idea. Try and go outside at some point in time, make a friend or two. Um, but yeah, that it's a joke that you're only as strong as the strongest person in the gym, and if you're just by yourself, you
Don't really
never
have
get
anybody else
stronger.
pushing you. Yeah, it's just me and my cat if I've got a home gym. So yeah, it's like, and I'm a little bit stronger than he is. So just by a small amount. I'm a little stronger than a 7 month old kitten, but
Yeah, I don't know. But on the topic of building out a home gym, we've talked about it on this podcast before. I'm a big fan of bands.
absolutely.
So if I had to start over and I didn't have any home gym and I was building towards a home gym, I think I would start with I originally got adjustable dumbbells and a bench, and then I got bands later on. I think I would do it in reverse, and I'd start with the bands and then move to
What's your rationale behind that? Is it the money, the space saving, the all the above? Like,
money and space saving,
gotcha.
and making sure you're disciplined enough to justify
And that's where like I feel
dumbbells.
like yeah, for a lot of people it they get really excited. Like I talk to a lot of clients that, like, oh, I bought this mirror or I bought this Peloton or I bought this whatever. And I go, oh, cool. How's it going with that? Oh, like I haven't used it. Like, well, okay, how long did you had it? Like, oh, I bought it like 2 years ago. So like, yeah, to get that initial investment and then to go, hey, I'm not using it, but yeah, to have that small little amount of investment because like some people they need to go to the gym setting to get motivation to get that's part of their ritual. So yeah, if you find it difficult to work out at home, then yeah, forking out thousands of dollars like I've talked about for my dream gym's probably not the best idea because it does take almost a special level of motivation to work out at home. I remember that when the pandemic first hit. Oh, good Lord, almost 4 years ago now. Jesus.
Yeah. And then also I think using a band force kind of forces you to get the form correct while not under load.
Yeah, you're not
Um,
just sitting there like just slinging a barbell or a dumbbell around. Like you're actually making sure that you've got proper form
yeah,
and proper technique and speed and tempo and all that good stuff.
yeah. Can you feel the muscle working that's supposed to be being worked in this movement? Because if you get under a bar, let's just say for a squat, for example, you got a bar and weights on there, and you stand up and you take a step back, you feel a lot more than your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes just standing with the bar on your back. You know, like everything's firing. But if you're doing like a body weight squat or something, and you don't even need a band for that, right? You just stand there normally. You don't feel all of the muscles that are actually helping you stand up correct. And you go down to into the squat, you should be able to feel that, oh, my quads are doing something here, my hamstrings are doing something here, my glutes are doing something. Sure, everything else is stabilizing you, but the muscles that are being worked in that exercise are not necessarily your trunk. It is your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes that's helping you do the motion of squatting down and standing up. And I feel like you might be able to get that more doing body weight things, which is the importance of a warm up. If you're ever trying to do any exercise, make sure you do an adequate warm up. I highly recommend a dynamic one where you do lots of different things. But either way, that is, I think, would be the reason why starting with bands instead of the adjustable dumbbells and then moving into the adjustable dumbbells in some kind of at least flat bench. I would probably, I'd do it again. I'd just go ahead and spend the extra money on an adjustable bench instead of having to go
Absolutely.
between the two.
Oh, so
Um,
did you get a flat bench and an adjustable bench? You didn't buy just an adjustable. Oh, yeah, that's
yeah, it's okay. When I was building my home gym to begin, there are a lot of companies that are available out there right now that make adjustable benches. They did not
right.
exist. So, like I already mentioned that I love the Rogue stuff, but the bench, like when they originally came out, like their adjustable benches were more expensive than their racks.
Right.
So I
It's like,
cannot,
hey, yeah, look at all these, yeah, the different ways you have to adjust. Like,
yeah, I was like, I can't afford that. I probably could have found decent stuff on the used marketplace, but I bought all brand new stuff. And which is also something else you can consider if you're building a home gym. Look in the used space first if you can uh, find stuff that's decent equipment there. You don't necessarily have to buy it brand new. A lot of people, similar to what we were talking about before, that have bought fitness equipment to try and think they're going to use it at home will suddenly not use it at home and have to sell it or get rid of it
A couple of years ago, I was working at a gym that they were getting all new equipment, and they were just giving away the equipment they had, and I didn't have the space for it at the time. I was like, oh, like I was like, I almost like it'd have been worth it just to like rent like a storage unit just to store it.
Yeah, and then thinking back in hindsight, I would have done the same thing. Um, some number of years ago, UGA was getting like redid all of its gym, and they didn't give away all the stuff, but they kind of had like a little auction for it, and so everybody got like UGA branded fitness equipment for significantly cheaper than
Yeah,
what
I'd kill for
you.
that. Like, how great would that be? Yeah, just yeah.
This is my Georgia 45. Put it on here. Um, but yeah, so I would do that. I would still do the steel plates. Again, something about the sound of the plates clanging. And also, I don't do a lot of Olympic lifts. If you're doing Olympic lifts, get the rubber ones. Um, but
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing any Olympic lifting in my second floor apartment.
yeah, yeah. Um, and then I would probably get a half rack that has some kind of pulley system, kind of like what Matt was talking with the Major League
Yeah, like
Fitness.
I feel like the pulley system's key. Like you need that. Like it just opens up a whole new world of stuff to be able to do, and then also just for me knowing that inevitably there's going to be more injuries and more surgeries. Like pulleys are great for rehabilitation exercises. So.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't think that I would go with a easy curl bar. I think I
Why
would.
not?
So I don't disagree with an easy curl bar. Like I don't think that if I had to go, like you already have a barbell, right?
Right,
And I would get a power bar. So there's knurling in the center. That's the
right.
difference between a power bar and an Olympic bar. Um, but I would go with uh, a trap bar or an open trap bar for the utility and variety of exercises beyond an easy curl bar.
Oh, absolutely. I would just find, yeah, cheap, shitty, easy. I'm not going out and buying a $200 easy curl bar. Like, obviously, because I'm just like, I need to do some skull crushers and curls. Like, sweet. Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Think about the, yeah. Because, like, yeah, it's okay. I would love to, like, have a, like, extension leg curl machine, but I'm not going out and taking up the space and the money for that either.
yeah. I was looking at easy curl bars the other day. Funny enough, um, I don't have a trap bar, but I was looking at it the other day because it just the easy curl bar. I saw somebody advertise it. That's kind of out there now. It doesn't have the flat space in the middle anymore. It's now like
Just super
all
curly. Yeah.
yeah, all angled.
So
And I
that
feel
way you
like
got all the,
which I don't understand why it doesn't have the flat part in the middle because I'm not going to put my hands like this. I'm not going to put them right next to each other. I don't know. Maybe somebody's thinking like my
I'm
my
trying.
elbows would be like really flared out if I had my hands like right in the middle there. If you're so tight like that, like why isn't it just spaced out? Because then the spacing gets off on all the other bends. It's like not. I don't know. There's something I was like noticing as I started looking through too many easy curl bars. It's like why do they not
Yeah,
have the flat part in the middle?
now that's like one where I just would like to just test it out. Like I don't want to like buy one, but I want
Right?
to
Yeah. The only way to like test it out is to
just want to
buy
play
one.
with it. Hmm.
So
Well, you buy it and then you don't use it. You put it on Facebook Marketplace, and somebody else gets it.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, but yeah, I don't know. For those of you out there that are listening, we've rattled off all the things that I would do. Matt wants the Major League Fitness thing. What else would you get for your?
Like I know we talked about it, yeah, off air, off camera, last time we met. As far as adjustable dumbbells, like I'm going all in with those. God, what's the high end ones? What was it? I know you mentioned it too.
Pepin?
Yeah, those are
Yeah, those are. I think
gorgeous.
those are the. I think those are the ones.
Because like they look, from everything I've read, they look and feel the most like a regular dumbbell. 'Cause I know you have the power blocks, and I've used those before, and they're interesting feeling to me.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I misspelled it. No, I didn't misspell. It's just hard to find. Um, check the price. Let's see here. I think they're
Like, I know we talked about like the smart fit like Nuobel ones too.
right. Yeah, the Pepin ones are $800 for the set. Um, Canadian. That's probably why I can't find it because it's hard to get those kind of things. Um, yeah, Pepin, Nuobel is one. There is the issue with a lot of the adjustable dumbbells, and this is the same issue with the power blocks, is the design for as the weights get heavier, it's hard for them to not have a support bar because
Yeah.
it's not a through beam that's welded in place. Um, so kind of like with power blocks, when you get up to the 125, that whole adjustable thing is going to be like 18 to 20 inches long for 125 pound thing. Whereas if you're getting a 125-pound straight dumbbell, it's going to be significantly smaller than that when you just pick it up off a rack. Uh, at the same time, though, if you're doing a home gym, your money is best spent on adjustable dumbbells to make sure that you're getting the right thing there. So adjustable dumbbells, an adjustable bench, because you said that already. You get the adjustable bench,
Absolutely.
the rack, and the rack with the pulley system and plates. So what would your total plate weight add up to?
Like I was looking at some sets that like I would start at. Like there was a I saw like a set that was 230, a set that was 270. And like I feel like it's a good start.
Yeah. So yes, you can buy sets that are set up like that and then buy other individual pairs of things or individual plates. You can buy a singular 45 or a singular 10, whatever you want to do. I bought enough to make the bar plus the plates be 500 pounds.
And like I relate to absolutely that. That would be the end goal. But I'm thinking just trying to start, yeah, start out. Like
Well,
I wish I had the plates and stuff I had when I was a teenager when I first started lifting. Like that's how I first started lifting was I had a bench and a bar and some plates and some the adjustable the old school adjustable dumbbells that you screwed off things, stuck the little standard plates on. Yeah. So I wish I still had all that. That would be amazing.
that's kind of like the Pepin lock-in ones that I have right now, like they spin
Yeah.
lock on the end, but the instead of it, the locking mechanism that it locks into is in the handle
Right.
instead of it being outside the handle. So it still has like a flat end, like when you
Yeah,
pick
because
it up.
like you think about like if you're trying to do a press with like 100-pound dumbbells and just stabbing
Stick.
yourself in the quad.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, the reason why I went with the higher weight was because I know that I I can squat over most standard sets pretty fast, no matter like if I'm starting from scratch and I get the bar to 135, inside of 2 weeks, I'm going to be over 225.
Right.
So that's the reason why I don't. I'm like, I need something that's going to be bigger. And depending on if you shop around, you can even buy it. I've shopped around and I got my stuff brand new for cheaper than some sets.
But seeing this also too, like where you talk about programming that we can do with franchise nutrition and fitness. Let's say somebody only has 230 pounds worth of plates and that they can't afford to get any more and but they actually are stronger than that. Well, we can develop a program that's got pre-exhaustion or to change the exercise order to where by the time you're squatting, it's gonna be sufficient to get that rep range with that.
Yeah, I mean, I say all this stuff. I got all this stuff, and at the same time, I'm currently just doing a lot of body weight and kettlebell stuff. Like I have kettlebells. That's I would as far as the home gym is concerned. I might put them right there, like near the dumbbells in purchase order of things. I find, and I have found that I have a lot of utility in a singular kettlebell, like just one 18 pound. I think I think I could do a total body workout and be fully exhausted with using just an 18-pound kettlebell as my
Kettlebells are
only
pretty
weight.
versatile, yeah, to be able to get a
Um,
lot of stuff in.
like my highest weight kettlebell goes up to 35. Uh, so, but still, if I, it's kind of like that. Uh, what's it? Body pump. Remember that class?
I do remember body pump because I got certified in body pump. I
Yeah.
remember we had to miss a wrestling booking because I was doing the certification that weekend.
Right. Yeah. It would be like that. Like if I had to do the entire workout with just a singular weight, like 18 pounds would be plentiful to be exhausted. But anyway, for those of you guys out there that are listening to us here talk about all of our dream home gyms, if we started over, what would you do for your home gym? Let us know. Hit us up on all the socials or franchise NF on everything. We're going over to franchisenf.com. Sign up for your free meet and greet. Let's get you started today working on your plan, utilizing what you have already. Either way, like we say every week, maximize every bite.
Maximize every rep.